so many demonstrations really of that. And that's one of the ongoing themes. In fact, it's one of the two universes which we're so excited about. You know, what happens if we've done that instead of that? And thank you.
Well, you're not getting off that easy. Bill's final words to Walter are, Walter asked for his memories to be moved, quote, because of what you are becoming. What do you think that means?
Well, to start with, I can't necessarily take it as an absolute truth at this point. It's been written, it's been played. It's a magnificent scene to finish a series off for Leonard Nimoy to finish his career on. I don't know, we were so privileged to be part of it. What did he mean? I don't know. I really don't know, and I'm not packing the question here. The man you would have become, would you have become Walter? Is this what we mean? Would you have become some sort of power moment, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely? Whether that was Bell's perception of it. I mean, Bell was not God. He doesn't get it all right all the time. But it was a pretty powerful thing to say to Walter. And I think Bell was also validating himself for doing it. So, yeah, I only did it for your own good. You're better off. Yeah, that's right. I gotta trust that Bell.
You asked Ken what the themes were this season, and one of the themes from the beginning of the show, which speaks to that question, was science or knowledge is sort of neutral, but it's the way you use it, not to be more good or evil. And I think the question to John was, and the difference between Walter and Walternate is, if you can cross universes for this very emotional reason of saving your son's life, but at the same time you're playing God, and is that acceptable under any circumstances? And what happens when you realize that you have the power to do these things which maybe man was never intended to have the power?
Mr. Reddick, what is the alternative Royals' relationship with Walter?
Well, outside the obvious that he's my boss.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about this a lot, and I've talked to Jeff about it a lot. Really, at first I thought that I would certainly know him. But I think it's more just that I have an enormous respect for this man. I believe that he's a great patriot and a great mind. And at the same time, Royals is different, either universe is different than that. It has a mind of his own, he's pretty smart. So I guess we'll see just how that loyalty that relationship is as things go on.
And Royals has a mole on his team. Do you think he'll detect that mole?
Well, I can probably answer that if you want him to watch the show. And I don't know. But I don't think it'll be good.
Ms. Brown, I recently rewatched Altered States. Which J.J. Abrams has, specifically cited as one of the inspirations for Fringe. I forgot how many nude scenes you had.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable.
Now I know too that there's somebody else's job. That's not job, sir.
Do you know anything about the alternate Nina, the other Nina? I've already started calling her Nina Sharper.
Sure. Well, I figured we haven't really seen Nina in the alternate world, although I kept hoping in the finale someone would step over an arm somewhere, because her arm is there. So I am actually over there, but not the rest of it. But I figured when she crosses over, if it's the road not taken, that Nina maybe spent a little too much time with Timothy Leary and Walter and William, and that if she's about control in this world, she's about lack of control
know how much Peter meant to me, and your voice cracks. That seemed to be very fraught with ideas of Peter. Is there a whole other level to your relationship with Peter that we have yet to see?
Well, there is. If you go back to the first season, we had a scene in a stable equestrian center where I say, you know, you and I used to spend a lot of time together. So there is a whole history that Peter and I have that yet to be disclosed. But we have 2, 3, 4 more years to
Mr. Cole, Astrid's doppelganger is very different from the Astrid we know. How do you envision that new character? And speaking of vision, your eyes look really different in that scene. They look really sparkly.
I will never tell my secret. Alternate Astrid secret, rather. I think the character of Astrid is really interesting in the context of these two universes because I don't think she necessarily took a different road. I think that she's so fundamentally different that she took the same road and the outcome is just kind of unbelievable. And Astrid doesn't have the emotional communication in the alternate universe that she does in this one, which is very interesting because she's so close to Walter Bishop and they develop this incredible relationship together. But this alternate Astrid doesn't quite have the capability to do that. And so she's kind of a loner. They describe her as a looker in the finale. And what she does is she sits in front of screens with floating data, and she's able to make quick decisions based on logic rather than based on how she feels about it, which is really interesting. She's kind of a little bit like a machine in a certain way. And what is interesting personally for me is that my sister is autistic and is not like the alternate Astrid, but definitely when I started to read the scripts, I thought, oh my gosh, there's some really interesting things I can do with this character. I'm not an expert on autism at all, but I have a very personal connection to it. And so I thought, oh wow, there's a whole world of possibilities to make these two people so incredibly different, than more than just what's on the page. So in the first part of the season 3, you get to see more of the alternative Astrid, to see how vastly different the two women are.
And I think